Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Danny Chess and welcome back to Spooktober Day 9. Now it's the ninth day of October. Um, to be honest, I haven't really been recording a lot lately due to not having the time and then due to, there is a lot of stuff to record, right? So I haven't really been recording for this Spooktober for like a week. So yeah, let's actually try to make some content today, like few of them potentially. The first one will be this one on the ninth day of Spooktober, I guess, which will be Trypophobia. You know, Spooktober, it's not always has to be like some sort of ghost or scary things, right? We can always talk about or discuss about something else like phobia, right? Like Tribophobia over here. Um, Luckily, I don't really feel like I have trypophobia. Sometimes I feel like I feel disgusted about many holes, but then again, I'm not really phobia of it. I just feel like like just a random feeling, right? But not really having a phobia out of it. So, what is trypophobia? Trypophobia is an aversion to the sight of irregular patterns or clusters of small holes or bumps. It is not officially recognized as a mental disorder but may be diagnosed as a specific phobia if excessive fear and distress occur. Most affected people experience mainly disgust when they see trypophobic imagery. A minority of people experience the same level of fear and disgust, and a few express only disgust or fear. If you guys have trypophobia, then like you can see there's a picture over here, right? This might trigger your trypophobia. So yeah, let this be a warning. There will be maybe some of these, some like a lot of them. I don't know. I haven't really been seeing this page, right? Like I just like search trypophobia, go to Wikipedia, and then start recording, right? I haven't actually been, uh, like learning anything about this. Also, let's actually try to make this video only 20 minutes. So yeah, it's almost 5 minutes. Excuse me. Excuse me, I just choked on something there. I just ate like a noodle, but it's very spicy noodle. Um, my throat, like it still has those spiciness in my throat, right? But yeah, if you don't like the video, then don't watch. Like, I mean by that, I mean if you have trypophobia or if you don't like this imagery over here, just don't watch the video, I guess. You don't have to dislike the video or anything. Like you don't have to be like you don't have to be a dick about it, right? um just don't watch if you have this, but we are here to basically discuss about this, right? And maybe potentially something that can have like treatment for trypophobia, right? I actually have something in my mind about how to handle this, right? Which we'll talk like maybe like later in the end of the video, right? um so yeah, this one, the picture over here, the holes in lotus seed heads elicit feelings of discomfort or repulsion in some people. I guess it makes sense. Like there is these holes, right? And then the fact that there is something inside the holes, right? And it looks like like eyes, right? Because there is that white stuff and then the black stuff in the middle, right? Looks like eyes, basically, right? Maybe you guys not scared of trypophobia. Maybe you are scared of eyes potentially, right? Like just lots of eyes, probably. Like that's one of the things that I kind of think about trypophobia, right? Like what in this picture that is actually make you feeling scary, right? Like what actually makes you feel scared? Um, is it only the holes? Is it only the holes, or is it also the fact that there is something in that holes, right? And in this case, there is like the lotus seeds, I guess, which can be represented like eyes, right? There's a lot of eyeballs, right? Maybe you're scared of that. Maybe if that thing inside these holes are not there, maybe you will feel less scary. Like, just holes, right? So you might not be scared as much just because there is something over there that represents looks like eyes. You feel scared about it, right? Maybe we'll talk about that later on as well. The scientific understanding of trypophobia is limited. Although few studies have been done in trypophobia, researchers hypothesize that it is the result of a biological revulsion that associates trypophobic shapes with danger or disease, and may therefore have an evolutionary basis. Exposure therapy is a possible treatment. Okay, so you can have therapy, right? Exposure therapy, it means that you will be exposed to this kind of stuff, right? Which will be the therapy, I guess. Basically, like facing, you will be forced to fear, not to fear, you will be forced to face your fear, basically, which is this. Maybe the person will bring you this lotus seed, and then you will be asked to touch it, and then you will be asked to stare at it, right? And if you feel disgusted, then you will look away, but you will still touch it, right? And then you just feel it that it doesn't actually possess any sort of danger, right? Because this one over here, um, it is just a revulsion that associates uh, these shapes, the holes, with danger, right? But if you can see that it's not dangerous, then you might be treated, right? You know which is my thought, and we'll talk about that again later down in the video. The term trypophobia was coined by a participant in an online forum in 2005. It has since become a popular topic on social media. Okay, online forum 2005. The one thing that I can think of is probably like 4chan, and then like just the same like SCP, right? Because the first SCP, or SCP-173, was firstly like introduced in 4chan, right? Like Reddit, I guess. I don't even know if Reddit existed back then in 2005, but I guess this one was like things that is similar to it, right? Or the things that will then be adopted to become Reddit or any other online forum, right? But yeah, and then it becomes popular topic. Okay, classification, not recognized by name as a mental disorder, and not a specific diagnosis in the okay. However, it may fall under the broad category of specific phobia if it involves fear that is excessive, persistent, and associated with significant distress or impairment. So it's not really a phobia, I guess. It's just that you fear it because it caused you some distress, right? Yeah, so that's basically it. It's not that, like fear of height, like you can actually be having fear of heights, but then again, you can just simply handle with it by not going up, right? Like just stay on the first floor, stay on the ground, right? If you have to take airplane, then don't sit in the window, right? uh, by that I mean don't sit next to the window. You will only be fear about it if you actually see it, right? If you don't see it, then there is a higher chance that you will actually not be able to fear it, right? Like, um, if you're on airplane, then don't pick the seat that's next to window, and then you can just stay on the aisle and think that you are actually like in a train or in a boat or in like a bus, right, where the passengers just sit next to each other, right? You can always imagine stuff with that, right? Be creative about it, and just revolve around it. Basically, use your phobia, um like you know basically like uh go around the phobia, right? You don't have to face it. uh like you can always cover it with something else as distraction. That's what I mean, what I'm trying to say. So yeah. Whether trypophobia can be accurately described as a specific phobia might depend on on whether the person mainly responds with fear or with disgust. Um, because phobias involve fear, yeah, this is what I talk about, right? So trypophobic imagery based mostly on disgust, it means that it's not really a phobia, right? So it's questionable over here. If you don't like holes because you feel disgusted, then by description that's not a fear, and that's not a phobia, right? Therefore that cannot be considered as trypophobia. It just means that you are disgusted of holes, right? So yeah, there's that. In one study, most of participants for specific phobia, even though they experience disgust instead of fear when shown imagery of clusters of holes. However, they did not meet the distress or impairment criterion. So, based on this, it basically just says that they, like, they feel disgusted about it, but they don't feel like distress or this one, right? They did not meet the distress or impairment. It doesn't make them become stressful, I guess, and then it also doesn't become impairment, right? Like I don't know what that means, but I guess it's just like like something that can cause you trauma or terrors, right? So yeah, there's that. It's just that you feel disgusted about it. So and that's about it. Um, Signs and symptoms. There's a lot of these. Presents with autonomic nervous system response. Don't know what that means. Okay. Trypophobia may manifest as a reaction of fear, disgust, or both. Disgust is usually the stronger emotion in those with trypophobia. Causes, okay, the understanding of this is limited. Belief that the reaction is an unconscious reflex reaction based on biological revulsion rather than a learned cultural fear. Like, like if you fear of ghosts, if you fear of heights, if you fear of darkness, if you fear of like certain animals as well, because that like real scary stuff, right? Like maybe you feel scared of like cows probably or bulls because you know that they might have horns and they can actually like what is it again, charge at you, right? And then give you a headbutt, which will be dangerous, right? That's why it can be categorized as phobia, because you fear it. You don't feel disgusted about it. You feel that you are being terrorized by that, right? So yeah, that's about it. Describe Tribophobia as usually involving an intense and disproportionate fear towards holes, repetitive patterns, protrusions, etc., and in general images that present high contrast energy at low and mid-range spatial frequency. It basically says that there is a lot of shapes in a cluster, right? Like like high contrast energy in low mid-range spatial. So it means that the whole is there's a lot of them, but the area is low, right? Therefore, in small area there is a lot amount of holes, and yeah, that's about it. Like holes, repetitive patterns as well, and yeah. Okay. Researchers have also speculated that trypophobic reactions could be perceived as cues to infectious disease, which could be alerts that give one a survival advantage. Okay, cues to infectious disease. Alright, I'm not entirely sure about that, but yeah, sure, I guess. Researchers. Okay. Whether trypophobia associated with OCD has also been studied. Okay. A significant minority of those with trypophobia meet the DSM-5 criteria for an obsessive for OCD, basically. Okay, so like only a minority though, like a few people or some people has that have trypophobia is also an OCD people. So there might be like a corresponding like a connection there, but I'm not entirely sure because it clearly says a minority, right? So, like it's not majority. It means that not everyone who have trypophobia is actually an OCD, right? There is a difference there, right? Because only minority, you might be, you might not be, right? But according to this, there's only a minority, right? Um, so I guess that's not about it as well. That's not like a sign that you have OCD. So yeah. Treatment over here. Okay. There are no known treatments for trypophobia, but exposure therapy, which has been used to treat phobia, is likely to be an effective treatment. Okay. So I don't know what exposure therapy is, but I guess it's to expose you to what you fear, right? Um, Similar what I'm thinking. So what I'm thinking is that um, basically if you are scared or if you feel disgusted about it, what I'm thinking is that don't see it, okay? uh However, don't see it but still touch it, right? Like basically you need to show them that you are more stronger than whatever you feel disgusted at, right? Which is in this case trypophobia or holes. So let's take a look again in this lotus seed heads over here. You know, if you feel disgusted about it, don't see it. I guess if you have access to it, then buy some, I guess, and then try to get some. And then if you have it, try to not look at it, and then start squeezing it like you are in an ASMR videos, basically. You got my point. So you touch it and then you just squeeze it until it got broken or something like that, right? Just show it that you are not scared of it, basically, right? Like again, this is just things that will not be dangerous to you, right? Like there is not like a random worm will go out of these holes, right? Or eyeballs that will go out of it. It won't be like that. That's just in your imagination, right? So to conquer that feeling of fear, then show it that you are not scared of it. So it's like a kind of psychological thing or reverse psychology, I guess. Like destroy it, basically, like squeeze it until it got destroyed, until maybe these seeds got popped out of it again, right? Like like don't feel disgusted about it, basically. Don't see it, just let your hands handle it, right? Like again, if you have access out of it anyway. If you don't have access, then I guess there might be other ways. I don't know, like there is something else, I think, like another picture, I guess. But yeah, we'll actually continue first. Epidemiology, I mean. So yeah, there's that. Oh, we already almost reached 20 minutes mark. I will let's take a look at this swiftly, shall we? The extent which trypophobia exists is unknown. Available data suggests that having aversion to trypophobic imagery is relatively common. 60% of sample 26 participants in 2012, I mean 13, reported discomfort. Okay, so it's like basically a feeling of discomfortness, right? Uh, don't know. Maybe there's also another research in 2022 which will be more relevant. But unfortunately, it's not here, right? So it's not really up to date. So yeah, I guess. Uh, Trypophobia appears to be more prevalent in women. Interesting. I don't know what prevalent. Maybe it means like it is, it will be more common, I guess, in women. Like prevalent is, I don't know what prevalent means, but I guess it's like more like relevant, I guess. So it's more common for women. Maybe that's why I don't feel disgusted about it. But like guys in general, right? Like if they see holes, they think about something else, right? Um, I mean, I'm not trying to generalize people over here, but like sometimes your dirty minds, like you don't feel fear about it, right? Like just be honest with me, okay? If you're guys over there, like again, if you see like holes like this, I'm sure like one part of that you think is that just poke it, right? Use your fingers, right? Just to poke every holes over there, right? Like even me myself, I feel like I want to put my finger in each of these holes, and I don't know, maybe ripping it apart. I don't know, you know. Now it gets nasty, right? I didn't mean to be like that. It's just how it is, right? Like, let's be real here. I mean, not really. Maybe some of you don't feel that way. Then I'm sorry for generalizing you guys. Not really that what I meant anyway. But yeah. Anyway, that's that, I guess. Society and culture. Term trypophobia is believed to have been coined. Okay, this one, 2005. The word the word is from the Greek, okay, meaning hole, and phobos meaning fear, just like any other phobia, right? Phobos, fear, and then the whatever like words that come before that, it means the thing that you're scared of, right? Or feared of, I guess. Groups on social media like Facebook, Instagram exist for self-identified trypophobics to share and discuss images that they say induce the reaction. Okay, so this is just like a groups that will post or account, I guess, because Instagram uh, that post trypophobics, I guess, like trypo imagery, I guess, like image with holes, I guess. You can find this anyway, I think, probably. Because trypophobia is not well known to the general public, many people with the condition do not know the name. Oh, interesting. I thought everyone by now already know what trypophobic means. I don't know, like, maybe like if I ask like younger people, by younger I mean people in the age between like maybe 15 to 30, I guess. If I ask them like, do you know trypophobia, then I believe that most of them or will know what it means, right? So yeah, not sure about this, like um why it is said that it's not well known to general public. Because I personally believe that people actually know what trypophobic means. Like I said, if I ask someone randomly, in the age between 15 to 30, I guess they can answer what this is, right? But yeah. What is it? In 2017, Tribophobia received media attention with American Horror Story, featured a trypophobic character. Oh, interesting. I actually haven't watched American Horror Story. Maybe in it there's like there are some people, right? Insensitive towards sufferers of trypophobia. Yeah, this is also like like if you're scared of something, it's just my opinion anyway. Basically, if you're having this phobia, you can criticize about something really, but you can really make, like you can really remove it, right? Because again, the movie is for general, for all people, right? It's not only for you who have trypophobia. So um if you don't like the movie, then don't watch it, basically, if there is something in it, right? Like uh I mean, the movie name is also like horror story, right? Because it's obviously something horror, right? Maybe in the movie, like there is some creatures going out of it. Then yeah, it can maybe be a little bit more uncomforting, right? So yeah, I guess insensitive towards sufferer of trypophobia, I guess it's necessary to be mentioned in the movie, like I don't know, like a trigger warning, basically, right? Like people who cannot stand with what is it again, like a Caesar, like flashing lights, I guess. And then I don't know what the terms again, I forgot, like a sudden change of colors, right? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that is called, I mean, um when there's a movie that rapidly changes color, right? It means that it will be discomfortable for people, right? I guess, yeah, the movie should have mentioned it. Maybe people actually criticizing about it. But you go like like block the movie or try to take down the movie, then you're just being a selfish person, right? Because you only care about yourself. Because again, maybe other people don't actually have this fear, so let them enjoy, right? You can criticize it, but don't take it to extreme, like having like a petition to cancel the movie because it has trypophobia things, right? Like that's just I don't like, it's just like uh it's unnecessary, really, right? Like you know obviously it's intentional for the movie, right? Maybe people that actually don't have it, then they will know how it feels, right? Like why people scared of it. Maybe again, like maybe there's a thing that makes it scary or terrifying. Maybe like there's like some creatures like worms that will go out of it, right? Like maybe a centipede or millipede, those nasty bugs, right? I don't know, I just imagining things, right? But yeah, I guess that in general as well, like if you see something that uh kind of become insensitive to you, or to some of like uh people, I guess, then you can criticize it, I guess, but don't like I mean, it's there, right? It's for entertainment. um you don't just cancel things out of like a silly reason, right? I mean, it's not silly, it's a phobia still. It's never a silly thing. Like I have a phobia myself, even. Um, like I still have my phobia of heights. So, for people who enjoy, hanging around at the high building, then they might think that I am overreacting, right? But then again, I can understand you guys who actually have trypophobia, right? It's the same basically, right? But then again, you can choose to not go there. This is also what I'm going to say as well, right? Like if you have phobia, try to make yourself not to get included in those not trypophobia specifically, but more like in those phobia in general, right? Like uh me having fear of heights, then I don't just randomly go to a high building and then hanging around at the edge of it, right? In the fence, like in the safety fence or something like that, right? I don't just go there, like I just chilling in the middle, right? Like if I go to mall, I don't just randomly hang around in the fence and then look down, right, to the first floor, me being in the fifth floor. I don't do that. I just like just walk naturally, right? Like which way that I'm going, right? Maybe in some of the like shops, maybe in the cinema, just focus on that way. I don't just randomly go towards what I'm feared of, right? The same thing like this as well, like if you have fear of it, really like acute fear, then don't make yourself into in being in the situation, right? But yeah, that's about it, I guess, for this one, because it's already done over here. Like, see also references and then external links, okay? But yeah, that's about it, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry if there is some things that might offend you in general in this video. Me talking about like, I just don't like when people randomly do silly things, right? uh by silly things, I mean like unnecessarily like cancel things, right? Just because it doesn't appear to be great for them, right? But then again, I'm sorry if that's the case, right? I'm just thinking that you need to see from another point of view, right? Another point of view of other people that are actually enjoying it, right? But yeah, that's about it, I guess. It's difficult, yeah. So again, if you don't understand, then I'm sorry. I'm trying to be like an open-minded person, right? Like seeing things from many perspectives, right? But yeah, we already reached 30 minutes. That's like 10 minutes more than what I wanted to be. But yeah, I guess that's about it in this episode, I guess, of Spooktober day 9. Yeah, day 9. Okay, so um but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already to support the channel. But until then, I will see you again very, very soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see ya.